Okay, it's mostly cloudy again today, but at least there's no rain, I suppose. And with that in mind, what did I read today? Seems like there was some crazy news today. How about this first one? I guess it deals with all that drama recently about drones flying around military bases and so forth around the world. How about this one? This one says 15 drones observed over Elsenborn military site. So according to this, it says, quote, around 1:45 a.m. last night, the local police of the German city Dresden observed 15 drones, says defense expert Jens Franzen, saying, quote, they came from across the Elsenborn military domain and flew into German airspace. Germany reported this to the defense last night, sources tell me, but that information would not have been pushed into the information chain of defense. A Belgian test device to detect drones has observed a total of 15. Drones have been observed on both the Belgian and German sides domain at different altitudes. Where the drones come from and who operated them is not yet clear. Defense is investigating the incident. Actually makes me curious how accurate that is actually in terms of detecting an actual drone versus something else. And at the same time, if you can actually track them all in this regards, shouldn't you be able to see exactly where they go afterwards? And according to this anyways, in terms of making it sound more weird, they say there's nothing really to see at that area, where if you're trying to gather information or something like that, they should go to another place where there's American nuclear weapons and so forth. So of course, they kind of end off by saying because of stuff like this, they need better ways to detect drones, for example, which kind of goes to the point again, you got to find ways to deal with it overall. Not just say ban this and that everywhere, you don't care if it's a toy and so forth, you have to have the right system in place overall. And then how about this other crazy news? At first I didn't know if it was real because there were all these videos going around online where it looks like there's hundreds of drones falling out of the sky, but it almost looks like a meteor and they're crashing into the ground. It's like something you'd see in a movie. Even I had to wonder, is this actually real? Apparently it is. I guess it was a drone show mixed up with fireworks, and there was a malfunction in regards to a National Day show in Liang. So it was a combo show again. Basically it had drones and fireworks, and apparently something happened where the drones malfunctioned. Some people are actually saying they think all the drones were jammed, which is kind of scary actually when you have shows this big in that regards. And so during the event, for whatever reason, several drones, they lost control and it caused the fireworks attached to them, by the sounds of it, to detonate prematurely, or it dropped uncontrollably, as you can see in the videos. And as a result, this resulted in what you can see here. It's like almost like a shower of meteors, again, like something you'd see in a movie. And you can imagine a lot of people were screaming and running for their life, and they were still trying to figure out what's going on. And the only other theory is that something happened with the navigation or payload system in general. So whatever happened here, the other question is it safe, for example, to have drone shows and fireworks at the same time? Because if something goes wrong, I guess like here, it's a huge disaster. I would think it has more to do with the fact, if it's accurate here anyways, where the drones actually have fireworks attached on it. So that basically adds another dimension of complexity versus for a lot of the other drone shows I've seen in some places, you have the drones making some kind of design, for example, and then you have the fireworks actually firing off separately. So you could have something like, I don't know, like a wizard or something like that, where the drones draw the character, and then you have the fireworks actually display as if that wizard's firing some magic or something like that. Although the other funny thought about this is how, let's just say that's true, where these drones were jammed and they fell out of the sky. Is it really that hard? Like in the previous story, if you're saying it's a security issue, where an official could just go in and do that as well. I mean, you can argue with all those little law technicalities and so forth, but that would kind of show there are potential solutions, but they just don't want to use it as well, huh? And this was supposed to be kind of good news, if true anyways, where there may be peace, I guess, in the world, as apparently, like it says here, Hamas agrees to release all Israeli hostages pending conditions. So that was kind of interesting, as I was just reading how apparently various countries established an agreement where if Hamas didn't actually do that, they would give people like Israel full support or whatever to actually go in and, quote, finish the job. That's what you want to say. It says, in a statement on Friday, Hamas said that the group affirms its readiness to immediately enter into negotiations through the mediators to discuss the details of this agreement. The movement also renews its agreement to hand over the administration of the Gaza Strip to the Palestinian Body of Independence based on Palestinian national consensus and Arab and Islamic support, Hamas said. Hamas was responding to a 20-point peace plan Trump outlined on Monday at the White House alongside Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu. Let's see if that's the case anyways, as with the other conflicts around the world, it doesn't seem like there's going to be an end in any way in terms of war and stuff like that. That's a large crowd actually. They kind of got gypped with the shorter version. Alright, see you guys later.